is Em, and today's topic, inequalities. What is an inequality? An inequality is a way to compare numbers. Here are some examples. 3 is greater than 2. Or -2 is less than 5. We can compare x's too. We can say that x is less than 7. Or x is less than or equal to 7. So that any x that is less than or equal to 7 would be an answer for that inequality. There are two ways to write our answers. We can either graph the answer, or we can write it in interval notation. For answers using graphing, in our example, we have x is less than or equal to 7. Notice that I shaded the x's to the left of 7, the ones that are less than 7. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0, negative numbers. Notice that I also made the line darker. And then I have a circle at 7, and my circle is shaded in. It's filled in with color. That's not an accident. We filled in the circle because of that equal to sign. If there was no equal to underneath that inequality, we would have left an open circle, not colored in. For our interval notation, you'll notice that we use parentheses or square brackets. Notice that the square bracket means that you had a less than or equal to or a greater than or equal to. So if I had a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to, I use the square brackets. Notice that next to the negative infinity, I have a parenthesis and not a square bracket. There are some misconceptions. If we have x is less than or equal to 7, the arrow points to the left, so I color to the left. There are a lot of students that believe that they are going to color in the direction that the arrow is pointing. There's one small problem with this. If your x is not on the left-hand side of the equation, you can't say that. I'm really looking for x's that are smaller than 7. So yes, I colored to the left of the number line. Notice that if I said 7 is greater than x, notice my x is on the right-hand side of the equation this time, and my arrow is saying, color to the right. But wait a minute. If I color to the right, I'm coloring x's that are bigger. And I don't want x's that are bigger. I want 7 to be bigger than my x's. So make sure that if you're saying my arrow's pointing to the left or my arrow's pointing to the right, that x is on the left-hand side of the equation. If not, you're going to end up coloring the wrong direction. So make sure you truly understand what your inequality is saying before you start coloring. This is Inequality Man. Inequality Man was something that we used in the classroom to help students remember what the symbols and the lines and the parentheses would look like. So you'll notice on the left-hand side of Mr. Inequality Man, he has dotted lines. And when we graph inequalities later, we'll talk a little bit more about the dotted lines. He has an open circle. His inequality symbol for his cheekbone does not have an equal sign. And his mouth has a parenthesis. So if you have an inequality symbol with no line, you have an open circle and a parenthesis for your answers. On the right-hand side of Mr. Inequality Man, he has a solid line. When we graph inequalities, we'll talk a little bit more about the solid line. He has a filled-in circle. His cheekbone has an equal to sign. And his mouth has a square bracket. So if I have an equal sign, I'm having a filled in circle. And if I'm having an equal sign and I'm writing an interval notation, I'm going to use square brackets. Hope Inequality Man helps you. I know that it helped our students. We created a big poster and had this in our room. Had the kids draw it on their paper. By the time they got to testing, they could draw Mr. Inequality Man, and if they forgot what the symbols meant, they could look back at Mr. Inequality Man. Comment below if you have any other questions or have a topic for a future video. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check out the channel for other math videos. Bye!